Hey, I'm Heyzeus, and in this video, we're going to talk about how Operation Shattered Web has changed the skin market forever. You see, we live in a world transformed, a world riddled with virus where people fight amongst each other for a few precious supplies that are left, and it seems like things will never really be the same again. Now, I am of course talking about Counter-Strike, and the impact that Operation Shattered Web has had on the game, because if you look beyond the flashy makeover and the booming player numbers, there's a more fundamental impact it's had on how Valve is likely to handle the game going forward, and definitely for the better. You see, Shattered Web had a lot riding on it. It was CSGO's first ever battle pass. It was released as CSGO was entering an upswing, and while Dota 2 was spiraling downwards, if it proved to be a hit, it was always going to be a game changer, and to say that was a stonking fucking success is a bit of an understatement. The game has boomed since Operation Shattered Web started, and only some of that is due to the coronavirus quarantine. What do you think about these numbers, Chairman G?
女士们、先生们，大家好。
But it goes further than just player numbers, because Operation Shattered Web has been a game changer when it comes to skins, and it's probably going to have a long-term impact on CSGO in that respect. Now, an important first point about the operation itself. So, Shattered Web was the first operation in about 2 years when it was released, and likely the reason we were waiting for so long was that Operation Hydra didn't do shit to increase how much people are playing CSGO, leading to Valve basically giving up on the concept, at least for a while. And now that it's finally producing results, it's likely that Valve won't keep us waiting too long for the next operation, which might sound simple enough on its own, but it has an additional dimension to it. You see, one of the problems with churning out operations isn't just player numbers, it's oversaturation of skins. Drop too many skins from the operation collections and they become worthless, and there's no incentive to play the operation. Release too many new collections of operation skins and you start to devalue the concept of skins as a whole. If you have too many skin designs available, they start to lose a lot of their uniqueness. I mean, what's better? 2 or 3 high-end unique red AKs or 10 red AKs? I mean, by that point, there's not much to distinguish these skins. And Operation Shattered Web added a new case and 3 new operation collections, and in the process, it ran a risk of flooding the game with way too many new skins. I mean, do we need 2 more super high-end orbs? Do we need another orange orb, or, 3 operation collections in general when there's already 8? Could this end up devaluing some of the other collections? Well, actually, it turns out there was so much interest in these skins that people ended up tripping over themselves in a rush to buy them in almost a form of Black Friday style hysteria. Prices went to ridiculous levels. They went up as the operation went on, not down like they normally would. So it was, as I said, a stonking fucking success, and that's probably going to influence Valve a lot going forward. For example, they probably won't hesitate to bring out another battle pass later this year with the same drops, and they probably won't have any hesitations about adding 1 or 2 new operation collections to keep it fresh. What this operation's shown Valve is that they don't need to be cautious about bringing out skins in the future. If anything, it seems like adding new and exciting stuff is creating entirely new demand rather than cannibalizing demand for existing skins. So that's a positive coming out of the operation. There was a very long, very slow period following Operation Hydra that I don't think anyone really enjoyed, where there weren't that many new cases being released and there wasn't that much interesting stuff happening. Thanks to Shattered Web, that should now be a thing of the past. But there's more than just that going on here, because the Battle Pass brought, partially, a new way for Valve to drop items in-game. So rather than the typical model of buying a capsule and a key, this system rewards you for playing the game. Now, this has been in past operations to some extent as well, but this one had very, very fixed rewards, and on top of that, you could simply buy stars if you wanted extra drops. And given this system was such a raging success in Shattered Web, it's probably going to be coming back fairly soon, and it might have a very important impact on how a lot of items are dropped in the future, because by definition, battle passes only operate for a limited period, and I think that's going to have some side effects that people might overlook. For example, there's a lot of cool stickers in this game in capsules that are permanently available in-game to buy, and this really ends up devaluing a lot of these stickers because there's no scarcity surrounding the things. I mean, imagine if this Dragonlore foil was limited edition. Imagine how expensive and hyped that ship would be. But instead, a lot of the interest has gradually disappeared because the capsule is never going away. And having a battle pass would fix that problem, at least to some extent, because things like the Shattered Web stickers are almost certainly never going to drop again, and some of them, particularly the foil, long term, are probably going to become fairly valuable. They might end up as being something more than just another random sticker, and that's a real positive in my opinion. Valve really needs to make more stickers limited edition, and having more battle passes is probably going to achieve that. And if the stickers are limited, well, it raises the question, are the agents in Operation Shattered Web going to be limited too? I mean, they're literally called the Shattered Web agents, so it looks like there's a chance they'll be discontinued. And if most of our agent skins are released in these limited spurts, it's going to mean that agents will probably end up being fairly valuable. They might be an actual collector's item rather than just another not very valuable cosmetic. And interestingly, when you look at all these things Shattered Web has done on the skin side of the game, it starts making a lot of sense why it's had such a big impact on CSGO's player base where other operations haven't. You know, the past 3 operations before Shattered Web cycled exactly the same skins over and over again. Shattered Web provided skins that were completely new and a bunch of operation exclusive stickers and agents. The last 3 operations had these random, undefined drops you get either weekly or for completing missions. Shattered Web clearly laid out exactly what they were. You knew exactly what drop you were working for, and with the past operations, it always seemed pretty likely that the operation skins would be back. With Shattered Web, you know that the stickers and possibly the agents are never going to drop again. So these are big incentives to play, and definitely one of the reasons CSGO has done so well during this operation, which is why Operation Shattered Web has changed CSGO's skin economy forever. Valve aren't going to abandon this winning formula. The only way it could go wrong is if Valve fucks it up and just rehashes near identical operations with no new interesting twists or new items to get people interested. Which I'll admit they have done before, quite a bit, but hopefully they've learnt their lesson this time, because this could be a very, very good thing for CSGO. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.